There we go.
Hands free. That's the one. You're getting feedback. Do we need to give one of those? Thank people to make sure we're not honking. I'm testing 1, 2, 3. I was good. All right, did you? All right, so. Do I have to call this to order? Okay, all right. Gotta do the pledge of allegiance and everything? Yes, sir. All right. There's no flag. Where's the flag?
Around the corner.
Jeff, would you grab that flag, please? I'd like to do this to a wall. My son-in-law doesn't think they should do it at all, but. Now in school, we used to have to hold it. Thank you, sir. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's have us a roll call.
Beth Bush,
Yes, here.
Vance Walls,
Yeah.
Meg Keenholz, Jeff Meister,
Here.
Rick Hogg.
Here. We have a quorum. Okay. Seeing there are no issues before us. Do I just suspend that part, or do we just move into what are we moving into? I know.
The next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the June 19th meeting.
All right, thank you.
I make a motion to approve the June 19th meeting
I
minutes.
second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I'm sorry, I went straight to the.
Sure.
To the other.
So the next item is meeting announcements. There is one announcement. The item that we had listed for public hearing, case file 25V0435, 37 Homestead Drive, has been continued until next month at the request of the petitioner.
No action on that, correct? Just,
There's no action for you to take tonight.
all right. So now we go on to non-hearing items, and we have training. And then the comprehensive plan update. Do you want to do the comprehensive plan update before the training, or do you want to do the?
Whichever is your preference, we can move ahead with either.
We'll just go ahead with the training.
With the training?
Yep.
Okay. So tonight we are reviewing comprehensive plans as part of our ongoing training. For listeners who may be tuning in online, we do training sessions when we don't have business in front of this body. That is a way of keeping our skills sharp and keeping us informed on new trends and such that are occurring in the planning and development world. So tonight we're covering comprehensive plans. It's timely given that we have started our comprehensive plan process. So I'm going to just jump in. All development is planned to some degree, but there are differences as to who does the planning and as to the goals of the plans. Costs and profits are often motives for layout and location of the new development. Developers convert flat farmland to building sites because the cost of grading and site preparation is often low. Sometimes choices that lower costs will also increase the benefits for one person or institution and increase the costs for others. For example, houses on farmland remove land from production and create problems for neighboring farmers when new residents complain of dusts and odors. Buildings strung along an existing road frontage can increase traffic and accidents as each new driveway creates a point of traffic conflict. There are demands to increase public expenditures for more roads and improvements to existing ones, and often emergency response can be compromised on private roads that are not constructed to a jurisdiction standards. One of the reasons communities engage in a planning process is to ensure that the needs of the community are considered, not just the benefits to individuals. Some flexibility in the use of individual land is given up in exchange for creating a community in which the interests of all are considered. Plan commissioners are the trustees of the future, and they have a responsibility to help prevent growth patterns which result in wasteful and inefficient use of public resources. When communities plan, they establish and implement a public policy for the community and guidelines for decisions on development. Plans help a community achieve a character of its own, one that residents of the community recognize and support. One town may wish to emphasize its historical importance, while another may pride itself on being a community of the future. Planning offers many benefits for the community and its residents. It guides investment, it protects property values, and it makes a community healthier. So what is typically found in a comprehensive plan? Any plan adopted in Indiana must contain at least the following 3 elements: a statement of objectives for future development of the jurisdiction, a statement of the policy for land use development of the jurisdiction, and a statement of policy for the development of public ways, public spaces, public lands, public structures, and public utilities. The plan elements. So additionally, the law provides for a number of optional elements, including parks and recreation, flood control, transit, natural resources protection, conservation, flood control, farmland protection, education, health and wellness, character and identity, and redevelopment of blighted areas. Most comprehensive plans in Indiana have some of these optional elements. Rarely are you going to find all of them. Another element of a comprehensive plan are the maps. Maps are useful as a visual representation of a community's plan. Most plans contain maps of desired future land use patterns. Land uses are usually divided into categories with different colors or patterns used to show areas for future residential, commercial, industrial, institutional, and agricultural uses. Normally, locations should not be overly specific. For purposes of the comprehensive plan, it is more important to establish the principle that a school should be located in a certain area than to designate the specific site for the school, just as an example. All these locations should be approximate, not exact. Often a comprehensive plan will contain a map of thoroughfares categorized from both urban and rural, major arterials to local streets. The plan may also address motorized and non-motorized transportation and facility design. The planning process. While each planning process should be custom designed to meet the individual community's needs, nearly all contain some core elements. The first, evaluate and analyze existing conditions. Second, establish goals and objectives for the future. Third, identify alternatives for meeting goals and objectives. Then 4, select the preferred alternative. 5, make recommendations and specify actions to implement the plan. 6, evaluate the success of the plan. And then 7, to finally adopt the plan. Plans must be evaluated, changed, and updated as the community evolves. Changes can be very gradual, and sometimes change can be very sudden, such as, for example, reorganization. It is the Plan Commission's responsibility to prepare and adopt a plan and to recommend it to the city or town council for adoption. In Sheridan, we have hired consultants to assist staff and the Plan Commission in this process. One of the key elements to a plan is public participation. It is essential for a successful planning process. Plan commissioners are key players in arriving at that consensus. So not only do they share their own observations and views about the community, they can ensure that a full range of views is sought and considered in the plan. Frequently, plan participants include a representative steering committee, focused groups of stakeholders, and the general public. Meetings can be face-to-face, but an online presence through a project website allows for 24/7 outreach. Just so you are aware, we will have both. We have public meetings, which I will update you on after the training, and we will also have a website available for public input. Elected officials are essential to the planning process. The decisions they make determine the shape of the community by votes on petitions for rezoning land, where to construct and upgrade public streets and utilities, where to locate public facilities. If they don't agree with the contents of the plan or don't understand what is in it, their decisions won't further the plan's objectives. Plans usually, but not always, consist of a combination of text, maps, and graphics. Some plans are heavily oriented toward policy. Some are oriented towards community design and the desired physical form of the community. In order to make the plan understandable and meaningful to the public, it is a good idea to have a balance of text and graphics. Communities are affected by a variety of social, environmental, and economic factors, and your comprehensive plan should take those into account. For example, concentrating all low-income housing in a specific geographic area often leads to social problems in that neighborhood. The location of commerce and industry affects commuting time and street patterns, which in turn can affect the cost of building and maintaining roads. The plan should address physical elements of the community integrated with social, economic, and environmental conditions. It should also be general in nature, and is a guide of policies and best practices related to development, not a tool for determining the precise location of each feature. The plan should be realistic and practical. The planning process offers the opportunity to dream, but the plan should recognize what is possible in a given community. Solid analysis and community input should help, quote unquote, right size the expectations. The plan should be designed to build on strengths and lessen weaknesses. Comprehensive plans should be long range. While short range strategic plans are useful for specific objectives, the comprehensive plan should be long range. The plan should have a long range horizon aimed at shaping the community for a 15 to 20-year period. This range will vary depending on the rate of growth, investment, and other factors. The plan should be easy to understand. There are no extra points for the length of a plan or the weight of a plan. The plan should be as simple and as clear as possible. Plans should also be accessible and reproducible. Each jurisdiction should maintain copies of the plan for staff, Plan Commission members, as well as one for public accessibility. A plan should reflect the community consensus. A plan will not be implemented if it does not accurately reflect the community's goals and objectives. It must be derived from an effective citizen participation process. As the community works with the plan and as conditions change, Plan Commission should review the plan regularly and initiate amendments when they are needed. Now for adopting the plan. Indiana law specifies that the procedure for adopting a comprehensive plan. The procedures may vary somewhat depending on the type of Plan Commission. Plans may be adopted as separate elements such as land use, thoroughfares, parks, and community facilities. However, the steps apply regardless of the elements included in the plan. So for example, the Plan Commission prepares the plan, the Plan Commission holds a public hearing, the Plan Commission approves the plan and forwards it to a legislative body for adoption by resolution. After the Plan Commission recommends the plan for adoption, the Town Council has three options. They may adopt the plan as recommended and approved. They may adopt the plan with amendments, or they may reject the plan. Should they reject the Plan Commission will have 60 days to consider the amendment or rejection. If the commission agrees with the legislative body amendment, the plan is adopted and the legislative body does not need to take further action. If the commission disagrees, the legislative body can amend the plan only if within 60 days it again votes in favor of the amendment. If the commission agrees with the rejection of the plan, then the plan is rejected. It should be noted that a plan is not an ordinance. It is not law. It is adopted by resolution because the plan is a guideline, not a regulation. If the planning process has involved participation by elected officials and regular communication has been provided, legislative rejection of the plan should be unlikely and any amendments should be relatively minor. Amendments to an adopted plan may be initiated by the Plan Commission or the legislative body. So what happens post-adoption? Once a plan is adopted, the staff, Plan Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, and legislative body members should participate in a training session. Other early implementation steps may include evaluating the skills and expertise of staff to ensure the organization has the capacity for implementation. Additionally, it is important to update tools relevant to the plan's implementation. For us, the best example would be our Unified Development Ordinance, which covers both our zoning ordinance and our subdivision control ordinance. The Plan Commission should undertake a yearly review of the plan's action steps. It should measure the accomplishments and determine what the priorities will be for the upcoming year. And that concludes the training. Are there any questions?
So this comprehensive plan, incorporate speed limits and those things, is that an ordinance thing?
Speed limits are an ordinance that is typically, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, it's handled in the municipal code.
So as you're doing the comprehensive plan and you're looking at putting a subdivision on a somewhat of, not a major thoroughfare, but a thoroughfare nonetheless, where there's this posted 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, does the existence of that new development now determine that speed limit, or is the speed limit determined? I mean, how is the speed limit determined? Is it determined by the size of the road or the thoroughfare, or, I mean, what are some of the factors that are?
The short answer is yes,
Okay.
not to be flipped, but it does
Right, I
take into
understand.
consideration all those factors that you just mentioned. Speed limits can be changed. They are not ironclad. Once a road's designated as 55 miles an hour, it doesn't have to stay 55 miles an hour. It can be reduced to a slower speed limit. And in some of our more built out communities, you will see they have arterial roads that are designated arterial that have a much lower speed limit than what you might find in an arterial road out here in Sheridan. Additionally, what you'll see in our thoroughfare plan, though, is it will provide recommendations for right-of-way, and also recommendations for XL and decel lanes, passing blisters, that sort of thing.
So the thoroughfare plan then is part of the comprehensive plan, or
It will be for
Okay.
us.
Okay.
It will be for us, yes.
Okay. Well, I have another question.
Mhm.
You didn't.
It may come. Anybody else?
Guess I have a question.
Yeah.
So the 7 steps in the planning process,
Mhm.
can you tell us where we are right now?
So we
Are
are
we at
at the
just
very
one?
beginning.
Okay.
We are at the very beginning. Our steering committee has met once. Our consultant has been working on collecting kind of what I would call the background data. It's all the demographics, it's all the background information on our community, and then they have been preparing the public open house exhibits. And if I may, I'm going to go right into our comprehensive plan update, because this is a great segue. We will be hosting 2 public open houses. The first one will be August 12th. It'll be here in the Sheridan Community Center at 6 p.m. The second public open house will be August 25th. That will be held at the Eakin Community Center, also at 6 p.m. These open houses are anticipated to last an hour and a half. The people are welcome to come and go throughout the evening. They don't have to show up right at 6 o'clock. So if they have an earlier commitment and they can't come until closer to 7 or just after 7, they're welcome to come at that time. We will also have opportunity online for the public to provide input. And we will have pop-up sessions where you might catch us at a farmer's market or at one of the high school games, where we will be encouraging people to perhaps scan the QR code and go online and take a survey to help with public input. So we are anticipating a pretty busy August and September with regards to the comprehensive plan.
How many members you got on the committee?
On the steering committee, we are bouncing right now between 15 to 20. Those numbers were selected based on the different groups of the population they represent. For example, you have Rick is representing the Board of Zoning Appeals. Mike Keenholtz, who serves on the Board of Zoning Appeals, he is our Plan Commission president, so he is representing our Plan Commission. We have a couple counselors that are involved in it, but we also have several members of the community. We've reached out to members of the farming community, the schools, the business community downtown. And we've also had, which should probably come as no surprise, a lot of developers inquire about participating, but we only have one developer on the steering committee. We will have more input from them during a focus group. So that helps to ensure, and I know I've only mentioned a few groups, but we also have focus groups that'll be coming into play here in September and perhaps even into October. And those focus groups are really going to zero down on making sure that we're getting input from a certain cross-section of our population. So for example, we may have a group of just downtown businesses. We may have another focus group that is just utilities that serve our community. We may have another one that is the social clubs that make up our community. So think like Rotary, Lions, American Legion, veterans, those kinds of groups. We'll pull them into the discussion, the library. So there are plenty of opportunities to provide input, both formally and informally. And I mean, at a minimum, if you just want to shoot me an email and send me your thoughts, we will forward those comments on to our consultants so that it's included in the analysis that they're doing.
I don't know what my question was.
Yes.
I'm assuming that once the comprehensive plan is in place and the UDO gets reviewed as well in light of the new comprehensive plan. So.
Yes, it's essential to update your unified development ordinance because that's the tool that is implementing the policies that you just changed. So if it doesn't if it doesn't reflect those policy statements, then again, we go back to you're not implementing your plan. And we want to make sure that we're putting a lot of time, effort, and resources into this. So we want to make sure that this is a plan that is regularly used and referenced in decision making.
So another thought, and this is more comprehensive plan stuff for the committee. This popped in my head. Is it beneficial to us to consult or have conversations with some of our neighbors, as in our Boone County neighbors, to not necessarily speak into it as far as making a decision, but realizing that they're going to be affected by this, you know, particularly those across the street, that type of thing.
Sure thing. So when we have more concrete information as far as what land use recommendations and things of that nature would be, that's when staff would reach out and have those conversations with our counterparts in those communities.
Is there any ordinance that we have to follow when we're reestablishing a certain area for use, land use, that type of thing, for those who are outside of our boundaries? I mean, I know when we do rezoning of a piece of property, we have to notify those people who are surrounding us. Is that a requirement that we would have to do for even, I mean, if we do some things along the border on the Boone County side, do we have to, are we required to do that?
I'm not aware of anything.
Yeah, to my knowledge, sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut you
no,
off.
you're fine, please.
To my knowledge, there's no requirement that we inform
Because I would think that.
our neighbors of a comprehensive plan change because it's a policy guide for our community.
Right,
And while it definitely impacts them being on that edge, I think that's part of the conversation that staff would have with, like I said, our counterparts and colleagues in those communities.
because I realized they wouldn't necessarily have any legal redress because they're not citizens of this particular
Mhm.
municipality, so.
Their
But I'm just trying to
opportunity,
be a good neighbor.
sure, absolutely. No, that's very important,
Because
but
some
I
of the
think.
neighbors are related to us.
But you also got Boone County, you got Tipton County, you got Washington Township. And then you got, in a sense, Jackson Township.
Cicero, yeah.
So all of them four could be affected.
Absolutely, and it's important to note that part of the reason for notice during a rezoning process is to notify those immediate neighbors that there is a change coming, and they have an opportunity to come to our meetings or submit a letter or email to our office to be read into the record for public input.
One thing you mentioned in here, a yearly review of this.
Mhm.
Well, everyone knows here that I've been to every stupid meeting for 20 years, if not more. I've never seen them do a review.
Have you had staff before? Have you had staff before?
I don't think we've ever had a report every year.
But we didn't have any full-time staff either.
Yeah, but we didn't have more time. But,
That's why you haven't seen it, probably.
That may be why you haven't seen it, is because your consultants were being paid to review the plans that were presented to them as part of the process, what relative to the Board of Zoning Appeals or the Plan Commission. The consultants may not have been tasked with providing a update to you regarding your comprehensive plan.
and all the people on the committee, will they meet once a year to?
No, the steering committee is only in effect for the purpose of the comprehensive plan study. Once the study is completed, their work is done. It is the Plan Commission's responsibility to review a report supplied by staff of where the community sits relative to the goals and objectives laid out in the comprehensive plan.
So in a sense, that's like, some of our neighboring mayors and county commissioners have a yearly, report. Is that something like?
Some of the information provided by staff to the Plan Commission relative to the comprehensive plan may be included in that yearly report, but the yearly report from in that sense is typically covering all departments, not just your planning and development or community development.
Something's rolling around in that
I know,
head.
it's interesting, it is interesting.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer, as usual. Are there any other issues that we need to deal with here that's non-hearing? I don't see anything past that comprehensive plan. Does anybody else have any questions, Jennifer or Katie? How are we doing, Katie?
Be good.
Okay.
And tournament time.
Okay, I know. I'm getting ready to do that.
Do we get a new package for the next meeting, or can we keep what he's got, or will it be? a
Oh,
new-
no,
be
we will
updated.
submit, we will provide you with a new agenda packet at every meeting, just like we've been doing.
I am entertaining a motion to
I
adjourn.
make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
All right. All those in favor of that? I say
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, Jeff, you good?
Yes, sir.
All right, good, we're good.
Turn it off.